Welcome to the 2.0 conferences. What's your name, sir?
Evan Blumenthal,
Perfect. And what organization are you representing today?
EOS Worldwide.
Nice. Okay. You are an Internet 2.0 conference right now. How did you receive your recognition for your accomplishments?
Actually, it's scheduled for later. But yes, I've been an awardee for Outstanding Leadership Award at the Internet 2.0 conference, and I'm honored and humbled to be selected for that.
Nice. Okay. And what advice would you give somebody wanting to follow in your footsteps to accomplish those goals?
I think it's really about determining what it is that is your unique contribution that you can bring to the people that you impact, and focusing your energy on that. Because if you, I always used to hear growing up that the harder you work, the luckier you get. But just working hard is not enough. You have to work at something that you're really passionate about. And so if you have a passion for something in particular, whether it's internet related or otherwise, for me, I'm passionate about entrepreneurs and leadership and really helping maximize people's potential. Leveraging technology, at times to do that, but it's about maximizing people's potential. And so that's something that I have found successful for me, but that might not resonate for someone else. To me, it's about just finding what your unique ability is and what, focusing on spending time with
What
that.
you're passionate about. I see. Perfect. Okay. How has your learning and networking experience been so far at the 2.0 conferences?
Well, it's been great. I got to meet a lot of real, new people that I hadn't met before from all, different types of industries and companies. And it's always nice to come together and have different perspectives because, collaboratively we can address issues or provide insights into things when we're not all coming from the same place. And so whether it's race or religion or gender or diversity of industry, it's not only a diversity from a cultural or racial or gender standpoint. It's also about having a different mindset towards how we approach things. Somebody who's a doctor or a scientist is going to approach things perhaps differently than a businessman or an entrepreneur. One's not right or wrong. It's just about having those different perspectives. And what this conference has done is brought people from a wide array of different areas together to provide insights and learnings and knowledge that can help foster progress into the future.
Perfect. Yeah, we bring like individuals together and you guys go off that. Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay. And where can others reach you and for your collaboration advice?
Well, best place is LinkedIn. So Evan J. Blumenthal on LinkedIn. As a professional EOS implementer with EOS Worldwide, what I do is I help entrepreneurs really get more of what they want from their businesses. And so people often reach out to me for advice, whether they're a solopreneur, whether they're a small to medium-sized business, whether they're running larger organizations. I love helping any which way. The sweet spot of the companies that I work with are usually in that small to medium-sized range, but I don't discriminate at all in terms of wanting to help if somebody reaches out and to collaborate. So I would say LinkedIn's the best place, but my email is also a great way to reach me. evan.blumenthal@eosworldwide.com.
Perfect. Okay. Will you repeat that for the camera?
Sure.
One more time?
Evan, EVAN, Blumenthal, BLUMENTHAL @eosworldwide.com.
Perfect. All right. If you were having a conversation 3 years from now, what would have happened for this event to have been successful in your mind?
That's a great question. As I shared before, for me, it's about making an impact. And so if I were to be having this conversation 3 years from now, I would have had a positive impact on at least 300 companies as a result of the work that I'm doing here today by then. Not to say that's the only impact that I want to have, but just specifically for this to be successful, I'd love to have an impact on at least 300 companies directly. But it's not about the company so much, it's more about the people that work in these companies, because whether there are 10 people in the company, that's 3,000 people. If it's 100 people per company, it's 10 times that, 30,000. So it's, and the larger the company, the smaller the company, it's not so much the point, but you can have an impact on people's lives by helping those businesses in some way, shape, or form.
Correct. You'll basically make more roles for opportunities for other people inside the company.
Yeah, and it's not about me. It's not about necessarily me looking for more business. Not to say that I want to grow my business, of course, but for me, that focus.
Who doesn't, right?
Sure, but there's a capacity at a certain point too, where you want to make sure that you're bringing your best self and providing the best service that you can to your clients or just anyone that you're impacting. And so to me, it's more about the impact than it is about just how much business am I growing. It's more about the impact.
Perfect. Okay. What is the difference between an implementer and a consultant?
So an implementer, as I shared, I'm a professional EOS implementer. EOS stands for the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And it's not a technology, it's not a software, it's more of a people operating system. It's a way of harnessing the human energy in one's business so that those business leaders can run a better business and frankly live a better life. And so as an implementer, my role is threefold. It's as a teacher, a coach, and a facilitator. A teacher in that I'm teaching simple and practical tools that are really time-tested and proven to work in entrepreneurial companies. I'm a coach in that I'm holding those leaders accountable to whatever it is that they agree to accomplish. And facilitator in that I'm facilitating the wisdom of the leadership team, because I often work with executive leadership teams. So it's facilitating the wisdom in the room, because 90+% of the time the wisdom's in the room. And it's facilitating them to a common answer or an agreement on whatever decision it is, so that ultimately they can take action on that. On the other hand, a consultant is somebody who comes in and tells a company what to do, or they're going to suggest specific strategies or courses of action to take in order to achieve a desired result. And not that there's anything wrong with being a consultant, but I view myself as more of a coach than a consultant, because I'm not coming in with the answers. I'm never going to know the business that I'm of the client that I'm working with better than they do. Correct. They've been doing this for however long that they've been doing it. I can't possibly come in and know more than them. So they're the experts in the room. I'm just helping them think and ask better questions so that they can come to solutions and get answers to the issues or solve issues that they've been struggling with. I'll just give a quick example. I have a client who I met with for the first time back in October. And this was a leadership team of a family business. And the son, so it's a family business, father, mother, son, and the son's fiance. That's the leadership team, right? But they have, they have a couple of shops and, about 60 or so employees. So it's, it's not just a home, it started as a homegrown operation, but it's not only that. What was so interesting is after one day of working with this client, the CEO said to me, I have more clarity around my business after one day than I have in the last 12 years.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's amazing. And it's not, it's not so much about me. It's more about what happens when you step out of the weeds, step out of the tall grass, and instead of working in the business, you're stepping out and working on the business. And when you can take that step out and hover above your business for even just a day at a time, 4 or 5 times a year, that really helps them get a handle on the bigger picture, because when you're stuck in the weeds, you can't really see above it.
You can't really oversee anything.
Exactly.
Much.
And so that's where my role as the outsider, as the person who isn't the expert in their business, can ask the dumb questions, so to speak, and ask the questions that might have seemed obvious to them, and so they're not even addressing it, but sometimes they'll step back and be like, wait, I'm not sure about that, and let's think about that, and let's dive deeper. And so whether it's asking questions that they haven't thought of or questions that they don't want to really address because it's uncomfortable sometimes, and it's not specific to any family business, it's any business. Sometimes there's elephant in the room that nobody wants to address, but you can't solve issues if you're not willing to talk about them.
Correct,
so these tools and techniques and disciplines that I teach my clients really help smoke those issues out, really shine a light into all the cracks and crevices, because that's how they're going to be able to solve those issues and get more of what they want from their business.
Okay, nice. Okay. What do you hope other attendees walking away from this event have gained?
I think that not just for myself, but I think other attendees as well would gain connections with people that they wouldn't have met otherwise. They would learn insights and tools that they wouldn't have perhaps learned having not come. And so I think of it in both from their perspective and also my perspective, in terms of, what I'm sharing here at this conference, I hope they walk away with those learnings, at least one actionable takeaway that they can use in their business tomorrow or the next day, et cetera, where it's not too complicated. Because I find sometimes you get hit with a fire hose of information when you come to a conference and you're overwhelmed and you don't even know where to start. So my hope is that they take one thing, at least. If they want to take more, that's fine, but at least one thing that they're actually going to take action on in the next 7 days after the conference. Because if they take action on something within that first week, much more likely that they'll actually have an impact from the learning that they had. Whereas if they just, even if they take a bunch of notes and then they never decide on anything, they'll turn around, it'll be a year later, they're like, oh, I don't know what I got from that.
Yeah, they'll just reflect back on the notes, but they didn't actually put any actions. Okay,
exactly.
I see. Nice. All right. Was there anything else you would like to add?
I guess the only other thing that I would like to add is that, a lot of times people hear, they hear about EOS, or they're not exactly sure what it is, or and maybe they've read the book Traction, which was written by Gino Wickman, who founded EOS about 25 years ago. But what I want to share is that EOS is really, like I said before, it's a way of harnessing the human energy in a business. There's no business that's too small or too large, as long as they have people in it, that doesn't need to be able to make sure that everyone's rowing in the same direction, taking action that matters for the greater good of the business, and working together collaboratively. And so what I share with people when they ask me a little bit more about what I do is I guess the best way I would put it is I help entrepreneurs and their leadership teams experience less frustration, more profit, and really get a grip on their business and gain control of their business. And so when they do work with myself or any other implementer, they gain three things primarily, which I call vision, traction, and healthy. So vision from the standpoint of just getting everybody 100% on the same page with where they're going and how they plan to get there. Traction from that standpoint of instilling discipline and accountability throughout the organization, whether it's 5 people, 50 people, 500 people, 50,000 people, it doesn't matter. You want everybody rowing in the same direction towards the vision with discipline and real accountability every day. And then healthy from that standpoint of building that healthy, cohesive, functional, open and honest, fun-loving team, because let's be honest, most of the time they're not, right? And so from there, I find as goes the leadership team, so goes the rest of the organization. And ultimately, they get to that point where everybody's rowing in the same direction towards the vision, executing on that vision with discipline and real accountability, and working together as that healthy, collaborative, bunch of people who enjoy spending time together. So if any of that resonated with anybody listening, love to have a conversation.
Perfect. Well, now we know where to reach you at. All right. Well, it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the time.